Lately, as a parent, I've been confronted with this reoccurring issue of how to comfort your toddler as they're dealing with the emotion of not getting what they want. Not getting what we want is such an emotion that most adults don't even know how to process and how to handle. And through our lives, depending on how our needs were met and how our wants were met and how we were taught to handle and navigate through those tough emotions, we have gotten either really good at manipulating our scenario and our surroundings to get what we want, or we lack the confidence to even ask for what we want, right? So, as a kid, and you don't always get what you want because you're dealing with parents who have to put up boundaries in order to teach you how to grow up into a functioning human. So I cannot give my daughter candy every time she asks for candy. I cannot give her ice cream every time she asks for ice cream. I cannot give her a 10 o'clock bedtime every time she doesn't want to go to sleep. I can't give her everything that she wants. But that's not my job as a parent. My job as a parent is not to give my child everything she wants. It's to give her and provide with her everything she needs and all the opportunities that she could need to pursue what she wants to pursue and what she wants. However, there's a difference between not getting what you want because the other person is just being rude and not accommodating, and not getting what you want because what you want is not meant for that moment. And so my daughter has been navigating these tough feelings of just not being told no. And I have been having to really navigate those conversations with a lot of awareness, because I don't want her to feel like her wanting something is a burden on me. Because I don't want her to squash what she wants or learn how to manipulate to get what she wants. I want her to learn that her wants are valid. However, it is in her power to decide when to fight for those wants or when to release them if the present moment can just be sunk into and peace can be found there. Because sometimes our wants and our expectations and our desires create a lot of suffering in our lives. And so I don't want her to go about life feeling like everything she wants she deserves, because that's just not a reality of life. And you can create a lot of suffering that way. It's okay to fight for what you want. However, it's also important to learn how to release what you want for your own peace and happiness in that present moment. And sometimes the present moment and what's happening around us is all we need. And our minds get so focused on these things that we don't yet have. And so, anyways, I've been trying to instill those lessons in my daughter in the most present and peaceful way possible, while still validating her, but also helping her overcome these human desires and human emotions that can lead to such suffering later in life. So last night, she wanted to be bounced on the swing by her dad like he does some nights, but last night he said no and he was tired. And we've been talking a lot about how you can't force another person to do something they don't want to do, especially if it's not necessary to our health and happiness and wellness, because also that's hard as a child, because sometimes as a child you might feel like you're being forced to do things that you don't want to do, like go to bed at 7 o'clock, wake up for school, right? But those are just things that you have to do, you know what I mean? Like something like brushing her teeth before bed. She doesn't want to do that, but she has to. And so I've been trying to explain to her the difference between just things we have to do daily, and my job as a mom is helping her instill natural rituals that she can just take care of her body. So anyways, I'm going on a tangent, but she was having a hard time not getting what she wanted, which her father had held a boundary and said, no, I cannot do this tonight because I'm tired, and for so many reasons, right? And she was having a hard time letting that go. And so I sat with her and I told her, we can't force dad to do what he doesn't want to do. And she sat there and told me, well, I feel like I'm forced to do things I don't want to do. So I had to explain to her, well, there's a difference between things that we want, things that we don't want to do, but they're essential for our needs to be met. And so those things you just have to do because they're essential for our needs being met, because our main priority is always taking care of ourselves and our body. So we have to go to bed at a certain time, and we have to eat food, and we have to drink water, and we have to do all these things that toddlers don't want to do. So it can make sense in her perspective that, well, I'm being told I have to do all these things I don't want to do, so why can't dad do something he doesn't want to do? but like they don't understand the difference, right? So anyways, we had a conversation. I thought she let it go. She ended up getting in the swing to start being rocked for bed. And after the swing rock, after her music box song ended, I lay with her to go to sleep at night. And I laid with her in bed, and I noticed her eyes were wide and she looked very worried. And I asked her, Hazel, are you feeling relaxed? And she said, with her finger. And so I was like, can you tell me what's wrong? And she said, I don't think I can let it go, or I don't think I've let it go yet. And so I asked her, well, how are you holding on to it? And she said, through my mind. And I was like, well, how can you bring your focus away from your mind and toward your body? And she asked, well, how can I listen to my heart if my mind is talking so loud? And so I have this metaphor in my mind. I use breath as a train. And so I tried to explain this to her in a way that she could understand. And I told her that, Hazel, you are the conductor of your train. Your train is your breath. Right now, as the conductor, your train and your focus is parked up in your head, and you have control how long you want to stay there. So right now as a conductor, maybe you're taking a break and it feels good to be sad, and it feels good to be in your mind, and it feels good to be in this reality that is real to you, but it's not real to anyone else. And so I asked her, what is real to right now to me and you together? And I was like, and she said, where we are sleeping. Yep. I said, is it real to both of us that we're both safe? Is it real to both of us that we're both breathing? Is it real to both of us that we're comfy in our bed right now? And she said, yes. And I said, Hazel, your mind is an illusion. It might be real to you, but it's not real to me right now. And therefore, it is not an absolute truth. And what is an absolute truth is what's happening in the present moment. And in order to get to that present moment, you have to start being aware of how your body feels supported in this present moment. And she said, well, how do I get there? And I said, well, you're the conductor of your train, which is your breath. And your breath can bring you into your body. Right now, your train is parked up in your mind because it might feel good to be there. But you as the conductor have the choice to move that train from your mind down and pick up your awareness, let your awareness come on board your breath, and then take that breath with your awareness as your passenger down into your body. I told her to feel her chest rise as she breathes in. I told her to feel her belly rise as she breathes in and out. And for a couple seconds, she was quiet, and I asked her, Hazel, do you think it's working? And she said, yes. And she said, well, yeah, I've just picked up my awareness, and I think I'm going to start bringing it down into my body. And I said, okay, can I sing to you now? I sing her the love song and Three Little Birds by Bob Marley every night as she falls asleep. And she said yes. And so I started singing to her the love song. And by the time I was done singing to her the Three Little Birds song, Don't Worry About a Thing, she was asleep. And I just found that she understood and grasped that visual so much. And I was thinking like how much that would have helped me, and it helps me now as an adult. Just having that visual, even those stopping points in your body, like when you're too focused on this illusion that's real to you, but you're creating it in your head. Your train is parked at your mind, and you're not even aware of your breath, right? You're not aware of your breath when your train's parked up in your mind. And so you have to start by first moving your train from your mind, making that choice as the conductor. And she asked me, I have control? I said, yes, Hazel, you are in control of your train. You are the driver of your train. You can direct it anywhere you want it to go. And so she had to make the choice to direct it, to move it from the station of her mind, to pick up her awareness down here at her temple, to guide that awareness through that breath train down into her body, and to come into the present moment. And so I just wanted to provide the visual for you because I feel like it's beautiful, and I hope you can be aware of your breath train today and bring you into the present moment that you're experiencing, because I guarantee you it is more real and more peaceful than the moment that you're creating for yourself.